Kai, welcome to the I Think podcast. I'm so honored that you would come. And, we're trying to get this podcast up and running off of the ground, take off like a rocket ship. You talk a lot about taking off and expanding your empire and your music. Tell me about that philosophy and what it means to you.
Wow, okay. Read it one more time.
So we're trying to take this podcast to the moon, just like one of those Falcon rocket ships. You talk a lot about expanding growth mindset, taking over, expanding everything, and you want to take it to the top with this music stuff.
I feel like that's how you should carry it with everything.
100%.
I want to be the great at music. You want to be the great at whether it be a podcast. You should just strive to be like the best. Plus, we come from New York. This is where rap shit was invented here.
100%. I actually don't come from here myself. I'm from Jersey, to be honest, but you're right about that. I've always been kind of around New York. I always had a lot of respect for New York and New Yorkers in general. It just seems like you guys are on a different level when it comes to life, just moving quick, doing things, making moves. You're really out there,
New York is its own world, I'm not gonna lie. It's not too many places like New York. You just gotta be here in order to really understand it. It's a city, so people like us, I feel like if you're able to conquer New York, you can be thrown into any situation before.
100%. Just was that Jay-Z quote originally? If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
He said that?
In his song with Alicia Keys, he said that. But I don't know if that's his original quote.
Yeah, I'm really inspired by Jay.
Yeah? Talk to me about that. Who are some of your big inspirations that inspire you to do what you're doing today?
Jay-Z for sure. I grew up listening to him. I was born the year his Black album came out.
Yeah.
So my parents at the time would play him a lot.
Nice.
A lot of old school rap, Biggie,
nice.
Prodigy. Just a lot of shit like that. I grew up listening to old school rap.
Yeah.
I like wordplay. Wordplay is a big
lyricism.
Yeah, I like wordplay. But to take lyricism and wordplay and transform it and bring it to the new generation with the new sound, I think that it takes real skill, and that's what I'm shooting for.
I like that a lot. I've been listening to some of your music lately that you're coming out with. Just in the car over here to prepare, I put on a few of your tracks. So you've been doing a lot of work with Bree. Tell me about her and what's your creative relationship like, and the stuff you're putting out is fire. It's really fire. Talk to me about that.
So that's okay. So we grew up together.
Yeah.
So a lot of the shit between me and her comes natural.
Nice.
We were going on a long ass run at one point. Me and you met in 2023.
Yes.
And I brought her here to this studio, and we ended up making a bunch of songs, and we went to another studio. It's just really easy. We complement each other really well. We haven't been in the studio a lot together recently.
Yeah.
But that's just life, people have to real life shit to go through, and
100%.
And we're our own individual artists, but other than that, only thing I can say about that is we complement each other really well when it comes to music.
I love that.
That's about it.
You talked a little bit about, coming up, you were listening to Biggie, Prodigy, Jay-Z, some of those legends. Who are you listening to now? What genre are you into the most now? Who are your top artists currently?
I don't have one.
Yeah.
I can't. That's like asking what's your favorite. For me, when you say you have a favorite of something, that means you could go with that thing for the rest of your life and not try anything else.
100%.
There's no way I could say for example, A Boogie. That's I love him to death, but I couldn't listen to him
100%
every day.
Let me rephrase it. Who would you say are you bumping the most recently?
Recently?
Yeah, past week.
Past week. Polo G.
Nice.
Big X.
X the Plug?
Yeah.
Nice.
The Kid Leroy.
Awesome.
I'm trying to I've been listening to a lot of R&B lately, but I can't think of anybody right now.
Yeah.
But those, in terms of rappers, T Grizzly is one.
T Grizzly. Okay, that's one. You know, he's in a lot of top tens. I love T Grizzly and his because he is very lyrical. Like what was that song "First Day Out"? That went. Yeah, he's very lyrical.
Even his shit now, like he dropped a project. He dropped a project like a couple of days, like a week ago. But the project before that, I'm just not listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks on a lot of real shit.
Nice, I like that.
His wordplay and storytelling is really up there. Like I don't know if a lot of people view him the way I do, but in my eyes, he's a legend.
I really love that. T Grizzly. You know, you mentioned A Boogie. He's an artist I haven't really listened to a lot, but I see a lot of people love his vibe and this kind of image or like his. How would you describe A Boogie? Because he has a cult following and a lot of people don't really know too much about him. Like out of the city, I feel like. Well, yeah, you know.
That's debatable.
Debatable, sure. But how would you break him down?
For me, I feel like his foundation starts. What the fuck? His foundation starts with his first album.
Yeah.
And he's being really vulnerable in that album. And he kind of took over from there to his second album, Bigger Artist. Me personally, A Boogie, I don't know, a Pain artist. He's just...
Yes, Pain.
Like, I don't know, like, it's not too many A Boogie songs I don't know. So
got you.
You can't, in my opinion, I don't want to say he can't do no wrong.
Yeah,
but he's for sure, like, a New York legend for sure.
100%. So we've been hearing like out in the rest of the country, they've been in the news a lot. People are saying New York this, New York that. It's like really dangerous or whatever. What do you say to that negative media coverage of New York? And what do you say to people out there who are scared of even visiting now?
It's dangerous everywhere. You know?
Yeah,
it's dangerous everywhere. If anything. Like, I'm from here, so I can say this, but like, bro, the gun laws here are like fucking, like, it's crazy. You can't get away with shit here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's dangerous in the sense of like, I feel like most niggas from New York, they know how to fight, they don't play.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect them, cool. But compared to like Chirac or Memphis and all of them, bro, it's a different world. It's a different world, you know. So
yeah,
it's dangerous, but like Times Square is a fucking tourist attraction. So how dangerous could it be?
Can we get a shot of the? Can you get in the shot the view we have here? It's a pretty sick view of the city. Thank you. So you mentioned Polo G. You mentioned you called it Chirac, Chicago. Has Chicago inspired you in your art, like the rap scene over there that's been coming out?
I'm not gonna say Chicago itself.
Yeah.
But the artists that came from there,
yeah. You like Lil Durk?
Yeah, hell yeah. Free
He's
Durk,
free Durk. Yeah.
I fuck with Durk.
He's in jail? I didn't know that.
What?
No, low-key, I haven't been paying attention to all that.
Yeah, Durk been arrested for like a little minute now.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, definitely free Lil Durk.
In terms of the artists from Chicago, Durk, Polo, Vaughn, like a bunch of them. But I said specifically Polo though because I feel like he's another lyrical like wordplay, punchline, storytelling artist. Like I relate to him in terms of art style out in a way, you know. So I feel like it inspires me because like coming from New York is a lot of people doing the same shit a lot.
Yes.
So to branch out to like the other states like Chicago and see people like Durk, Polo, even like the lower artists.
Yeah.
Like you don't even gotta go to the top just to see what they're doing and like that's how I'm trying to strive to be like in somewhat that direction.
You mentioned Memphis as well. Have you been noticing anything out of Memphis in particular?
Yeah. Who's out of Memphis? I know Glock has been chilling.
Okay.
Who else? I can't think. Oh, Little Riddler.
Little Riddler.
No, Glorilla.
Glorilla. Oh yeah, Glorilla's from Memphis. I thought you said Low Riddler, but that would be a sick rap name. I feel like.
Well, for you.
Sorry.
For you.
No, not for me, but just in general for anyone, like Low
Lil
Riddler,
Riddler?
like the Riddler, like from the Joker. You don't agree with that?
No.
All right, talk to me. This is a topic I like to bring up a lot in my podcast. What's your opinion on Elon Musk?
Uh, he's he's too advanced for us. Apparently, I mean, isn't he sending niggas into space?
Yeah.
He's too advanced, and then he's trying to do like the chips for the brain and some shit like
Yeah,
that.
Neuralink. Yeah.
Yeah, no, nah,
You don't agree with Neuralink?
I don't agree with it. You won't ever catch me doing that shit.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I feel that.
But I feel like, I mean,
You want to stay natural.
I
Natural.
don't got a problem with him, but he's too advanced. If you like the advanced lifestyle, then the most I'll probably do is a Cybertruck. But after that,
Cybertruck. Yeah, Cybertrucks. I like the design on those. Those are a pretty cool vehicle. Do you think Elon Musk comes to New York, walks around without security? Is he safe? Does New York fuck with Elon Musk, basically?
I'm not doing nothing to Elon Musk if he come here. I'm not gonna do nothing to him. That nigga like a billion up. Like he's like
Yeah.
a couple billions up. If you
He's
do
like
something to him, he could fucking,
400 billion. So
oh,
yeah,
he could, even if he was to come here with no security, if he something does happen to him, 400 billion can do something to you. So
yeah,
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he could walk with 400 billion and be safe.
yeah. That's interesting to think about. I've been paying somewhat attention to the music scene happening here lately. Obviously, when we met, I was a recording engineer. I don't think I did the best job with your music. Tell me about that. What was your memory of coming to the studio and then the owner tells you work with him? I was just getting started.
I think I had a set engineer at the time, Ghazi.
Yeah.
I was working with Ghazi already.
Ghazi, yeah.
So for him,
What was the occasion? Was it like Ghazi was out or something?
that's a good question. I don't know. But you were there, and I don't like people in general.
Yeah.
So to meet somebody new and work with my craft,
Yeah.
I wasn't fucking with it.
Yes.
But you were funny. So I'm like, I can't be too mad at him. Plus, I'm like, if anything, worst coming to worst, I have Ghazi sooner or later.
Yeah.
But
100%.
I do remember you was willing to learn.
Yeah, I wanted to learn. I was really eager to learn, and like I would watch Ghazi too when he was recording. I learned a lot from them, from Ghazi and Yandi. And back when I was doing audio engineering, and then I tried to transfer some of these skills to the podcast format, which is pretty nice. Talk to me about your dreams and ambitions, because I looked through your Insta and like you are an ambitious guy. Like that's one word I would definitely use to describe you. You had the whiteboard, you had the goals listed on there, put out X amount of songs by this date, do this. Talk to me about your ambition and where do you think it's gonna lead you? Where do you want it to take you?
I wanna, like you said, to the moon. Like I wanna take over. Like I wanna die one of New York's greatest.
I love that.
One of New York's greatest and just one of the greatest artists, rappers, MCs of all time.
I like
Like
that.
that's what I want.
That's fire.
And I know like I have the talent for it,
You do.
but in terms of like putting in the work, it's a process. You
Yes.
know?
But you've been consistent.
I could do a lot better.
Yeah, we can always do better, but you've been consistent just in the sense that you're still putting stuff, you're still an artist.
No, I'm always working on music.
Yeah.
I haven't put out shit in
Yeah.
a minute. Which, but I'm always working on music. So one way or another, it's gonna get done.
100%.
Yeah. If it's not today, then tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah, and I had John, I don't know if you saw any clips of the last guy who came on the pod, John Martin. He has that same mentality, and he didn't start his career until later in life, but he is set where he's like, I will be a Grammy Award winning singer no matter what.
Facts.
Like he knows it will happen, so I can't help but believe him a little bit or a lot actually, because it's like, yeah, he's so motivated that really I don't think, when you have that mindset, it's not a lot of things that can really stand in your way. I feel like when you look back, a lot of the things we fail on in life, we didn't really fail, but we just stopped. We quit. Lost the passion, stopped putting in the effort. So I'm a big believer in that mentality. All right, moving on from the topic of music and also the topic of Musk, which is funny. I know that fashion, you have a strong sense of fashion. Like, what is fashion in your, what do you mean?
Don't say that. The fucking fashionistas will don't say that.
Yeah.
Like I like to think that I know.
No, you do. That's a fire fit. So you've got blue Jordans, Nikes. I don't know, Air Force Ones.
No, they're
Okay.
Jordan.
Okay.
Look, me personally, I don't consider myself a fucking fashion guru.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? I
yes.
like clothes. I like what I like.
Yes,
If I like to match sometimes. I like to be comfortable.
100%.
And I've gotten into it with the people who think they're fucking fashion.
Yeah.
So-
How is that? But I feel like fuck that, because how could it's an art just like anything else?
Yeah, but I don't know. Look, me personally, I don't want to consider myself a high fashion guy. I like what
Yeah,
I
of
like.
course.
I think what it more so is for me is like the ideal of shining. That's what I'm good at. Like,
Nice.
I feel
Shining. I love
like
that.
yeah, like even with like the simplest stuff, I feel like I'll make it look good because
Mhm.
it's just me. And my comfortability and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I'm not too crazy fashion. I just like what I like and try to make it work with me. That's it.
100%. I love that. Are you planning on putting any? So we talked a little bit before the pod about potentially some projects you're working on right now, some stuff you have in the works, a couple songs maybe. Talk to me about that. What's next with the music?
I want to drop, like I said, like even you said it, I want 4 songs before July. Not to put out, just done and ready so I could just drop. I got this song that's done that I dropped the snippet on. And I don't want to drop it without a music video,
Yeah.
but I don't want to wait too long either. So either what's going to happen is if I don't have the music video done by the end of this month or the beginning of next month,
Yeah.
or maybe even just the end of next month, I'm gonna just drop the song and then deal with the music video after. But that's the plan. I'm gonna do that like a couple more times and then drop an EP.
I love that.
And then, if the dice is rolling, maybe a mixtape project, a bigger project, something like that.
That's fire.
And just keep going.
Who do you usually hit up to do your videos?
Shout out Peach. Shout out Peach.
Yeah.
I've never done a video.
Yeah.
I've done the mic shit.
Oh, like when you're in the car?
Not the car. Like I was just standing in front of the mic.
Okay, word.
I did that, but I've never done a real music video. So when I do the music, that'll be my first music video ever done.
Nice.
Um,
Yandi is good with that. I think
word.
he's done a couple big ones.
but I'm seeing Peach. I'm gonna hit up like Weirdo Motions
Yeah.
and shit like that. Just the New York people who are doing it right
Nice.
now.
Yeah, what was that? I remember back in 23, there was this guy in Brooklyn. I think he was in his car, and then all the videos were like people rapping.
Hazard lights.
I think, yeah, in the passenger seat with the mic hanging
I want to do
down.
that too. Actually,
Yeah.
I have a song I want to do for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
that's
gonna
fire.
do that. I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Nice.
He's still around.
Nice.
G Herbo just did something with him.
Okay, word. G Herbo, nice. Okay, apart from rap, you mentioned Airbnb a little bit, but do you fuck with any other genres?
Heavy on R&B. Heavy on R&B.
I love R&B too.
I don't want to say soulful music. I'm more so attracted to the soulful voice.
Yeah,
Like I like vocals before. Like if you got a nice voice,
yeah.
then I feel like you're on the right path to have a good song.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Pop-ish. I'm not really into pop right now. I've been listening to sometimes just certain what is it? Like piano instrumentals.
Nice.
Certain shit
I
that's
like
just
that.
calming. Shit like that.
What does it mean for you, to be an artist? What does that mean?
Damn. Would you consider yourself an artist?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. What would you say? I want to hear what you say.
It's funny. Typically, the guest never throws it back at me, but let me try to think of a response. So for me, art is all about expression. It's about choosing to be yourself and not someone else. Not trying to be something you aren't, being yourself. And art is all about creating something new, putting something new into the universe that the universe hasn't seen before.
Okay.
So I think as long as you're being authentic to yourself, you are an artist
All right.
in any aspect of life. Like a convo could be an art, like a, paint. The way you walk can be an art. Like every little detail, it's like a little expression to me.
For me, in terms of making the music, it's about putting myself into something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like that.
uh, not to just piggyback off what you said, but yeah, putting your ones and twos onto a project and shit.
Yeah.
But that's all I can really how I see it, because I mean we can get into the logistics of like when you make a song, you
Yeah.
expressing your feelings, what you went through the day and shit like that.
Yeah, and you're putting it out to the world.
Yeah.
That's another part I would
But
say.
I feel like I wanted to get deeper in the sense of like if you were to listen to me or deal with me in the sense of art, you're dealing with like you're getting me.
Yes.
Like yeah.
100%. Switching lanes, kind of a dramatic lane switch here. I do ask this to everyone who comes on, more or less.
Mhm.
Why do you think, are you a religious man? Why do you think we exist? Like, what do you believe is the universe? Why does the universe exist according to you?
Uh that's you smoke.
Yes.
um why do we exist? I don't know. God wanted us to exist.
What do you think God is?
I heard somebody say that people think of God as a man or just a being, when in reality he's not. It's something bigger, and I kind of believe that because I feel like to be a god, you're nowhere near on the same plane as humans.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if God is perfect. I'm gonna
Mhm.
assume that, but um, they say it starts from the Big Bang and shit. I don't know,
But
like
what could have come before that?
yeah, I be thinking about that shit too.
Yes.
I be thinking about that shit too.
Like the main question, right? Why is there something as opposed to nothing? Why is there something and not nothing?
And even with nothing, how did
What is
nothing,
nothing?
like how
Yeah.
did nothing become? Like,
So yeah, it's trippy, right?
I've always thought about shit like that, but because technically, like if we were to say it all started with God, who created him?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I try not to
Think about it.
because it's like
Yeah.
you'll fuck around and catch an aneurysm thinking about this shit too
I
hard.
think about it a lot, especially I feel like the podcast lets me like think about it and be productive at the same time because low key that's all I'm thinking about deep down all the time. And I'm like I can't exist in the regular world and just be thinking about it. I won't get anywhere. But if I put a camera in front of me, like I can kind of think about it. But regardless, it's like it is one of those things, we just don't really know. My whole thing, my spiel is like my goal in life is to figure out, like, try to. I'm not claiming I'm going to, but like, I see a pathway potentially through AI, through quantum computing, to really figure out where we come from, because I don't really believe anyone's opinion on it until we figure out for sure. Like, they'll say the Big Bang or like science, and I'm like, how could something random come from nothing? So it's like, they're like, oh, it's just, life is just random. And I'm like, if I take a handful of rice and like throw it on the pavement, it will spread in a random way, but you still have to have my hand growing it and the rice. It's like,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
For sure. Mm, yeah. Would you smoke on this podcast?
would I smoke
Yeah.
live? Probably not on the internet. Like, I've been trying to not smoke weed as much, but you're welcome to smoke.
No, I don't smoke.
Okay.
I don't smoke. Nah, I just figure because it's like a smoke type of conversation, but yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's how I always am. Like, in life, I'm always in that mindset,
Oh, really?
potentially.
So what is it like when you're high?
It's like a little bit like I'm just tired. But I remember the first few experiences I had with marijuana, it was I was getting existential. And so, yeah, I think it's fascinating all of this stuff, and like I love what you're doing with your career and everything, and just radically pursuing it and not being afraid of the music stuff, or like it's like because so many people are out there doing this or that and being an artist, but you're committed to being an artist, so it's a difference, I think. And like right now, we're in this crazy location. What was like your first time coming to this building? Like, was it new to you or was it like
Um,
just normal stuff?
like you talking about way back when?
Yeah, 23. That was the first time you came?
Uh, I was introduced to Dutch,
Yeah,
or not introduced. I was recommended to come here by somebody I know,
yeah.
and I was like, "Fuck it!" Like it's a studio, and I had just came back to New York, so I really didn't
Yeah.
have a studio at the time. So I'm like, "Why not check it out?"
Hmm.
The aesthetic of the studio was cool as fuck. It
Yeah.
had a bunch of arcades and
Yeah, I built one of them.
or
Yeah.
the arcade you built.
I put it together from a 1,000 piece kit that came online.
Oh shit! Where is it?
I have no idea now. Probably at their new spot.
That sucks. But the aesthetic was just cool as fuck. And other than that, like that was my first impression was it was cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. Um, in terms of how was it, it could have been better. It could have it could have been it could have been a lot better.
yeah, no, it was a great studio. I'm really thankful for that time, you know, and like I love those guys.
No,
And,
I'm
yeah,
it was a cool
yeah.
time. Like it was a cool time just to be there and be creative. Like
Yes.
it was cool. But
What's your opinion on the Russia-Ukraine war? Because we've been hearing like that's escalating a lot recently in the news. Like apparently there was like
well,
they're calling it like Russia's Pearl Harbor, like Ukraine
what's
took
his
out
name? Putin.
Putin's Russia's.
Um, what's happening over there?
So what happened is like in general, so Russia, Ukraine's right on the border of Russia.
Right.
So then Russia a few years ago they invaded Ukraine like in 2022
Okay.
in a big scale land invasion. So lots of tanks and big mortars and they just steamrolled through. But then the US gave a ton of money under Biden to give weapons to Ukraine. So
Oh,
they've
wow.
been fighting. A lot of people have died, like a couple 100,000 people dead in that war so far, and it just seems to be getting worse. What do you say
Um,
to like all the wars in general? Like, what do you tell those people? Because it seems like unnecessary.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like it's bigger than just. I feel like it's a. I don't want to say an ego thing,
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like it's to die about like if we were to go to war right now, for us to possibly die over
a
something
border.
yeah, like something
Yeah.
we have nothing to do with
Yeah,
just because we live here. I feel like it's unfair,
yeah,
and I'm big on peace anyway.
yes.
Because like nobody wants to lose, nobody wants to get beat up, nobody wants to get
Yeah.
killed, injured, shit like that. Like that's why I like to say it's an ego thing. Because
Yeah, I agree
people
with you.
want people, just have something over the next person, whether it's from
Yeah,
a political standpoint of like who has the bigger bombs and shit, or to the streets who can fight better, who has a bigger gun. It's an ego thing, and like I
yeah,
don't know. I just try to keep as much peace as you can. Only escalate it if it needs to.
yes. And to that point, I'm an optimist. Like I'm always, I think eternally an optimistic. I try to be person, and I think that we can really like. I think a lot of people in the world are waking up to more like becoming more enlightened. So I think there is a future potentially in our lifetimes when there's no big wars happening. What do you disagree, or do you think
Yeah.
we're always going to be in
Big
wars?
war, big war. Like what do you mean, like with countries and shit?
Fighting, yeah. Do you think it will always just be human nature, or will we ever get past that?
I think there will always be conflict. I think that I don't know. In terms of war, you might be right. Like maybe at one point in time there will all the nations will come to an agreement to host in life, but I feel like there's always gonna be conflict.
100%.
Always gonna be conflict. And shit, there was a civil war at one point.
Yes.
So it's gonna. I hope not, but I feel like something is bound to happen because there's always gonna be something or someone who's gonna push a negative agenda.
Yes. Yeah, that's really interesting. I think I think that there's a chance, it might be a small chance that we could, because like if as a society we just keep trying to be more like, what's the word, accepting or like peaceful, and then if everyone is like that, then all the kids who are coming up, if it would be so unlikely, I feel like, but if we get everyone in the world to be like at one time like really great, then all the kids coming up will be learning from them. And but it seems so unlikely, but I think we could figure it out. I don't know, I just like to be optimistic even though people will call me crazy, but like,
I like to be. You would consider yourself optimistic.
mhm,
I would consider myself a realist.
a realist. Talk to me about that. What's the difference, do you say?
I don't feed into bullshit.
Yeah.
So we would like this, but if you know we're never gonna get this, I'm not even gonna try to fool myself in that.
Yes.
So we would like peace, but I know that it's no way we're ever gonna get peace. There's always gonna be something, always.
Yeah.
And it's
most
not that I'm
likely.
trying to be negative.
Yeah, of course.
But like, it's even like even accidents can be taken out of context and and shift something.
Yes.
Like great accidents has happened where something happened and then it was taken the wrong way and then boom, you got a big ass issue going on now. So it's always gonna be something. So just to be a realist, and I call it being a realist. It's like you, if it's if the signs are telling you that it's going this way, it's going that way.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense, and I definitely appreciate that perspective on being realistic. And I think in a real way, that helps us in the day to day. It's like, just like I said before, I couldn't be doing this, talking about all this existential stuff if I was like just in the day to day, like, but I'm just like sitting in a camera, so it doesn't really, it's like, you know what it is, guys. But regardless, I think what you're saying is very wise. Like, my friend recently talked to me about how he believes in reincarnation. Do you think there's a chance that you've been to this world before? Like, there's some things I feel like you just kind of we know intuitively.
Uh, Me personally, I don't know. I do consider myself like I have an old soul,
Yeah, that's what I would say.
but I don't know because I feel like as a kid, like I wanted to be a kid, but I also wanted to be grown. I don't know. Like I don't think no, I don't think I've been here before because I wouldn't have made a lot of mistakes I have made.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I think I just got an old soul, and that's just because how I was raised and the people around me and
Yeah,
being willing to learn and shit.
that's awesome. I really respect that about your career, about your style, your artistic sound, and everything. So I typically will ask an artist if they come on, how do you describe your sound? I know it's a lot of pressure, but one sentence, what's your sound?
One sentence.
Yeah.
Uh, when you say sentence, you mean like
A phrase, a word, even, whatever. How do you describe it? You can do 2 or 3 sentences, it doesn't matter. Or maybe.
damn. That's hard. Like
Yeah, I know.
like if you said 4 words, I could do that, but four
Sure,
sentences.
four words, whatever you
No,
want.
but I want to challenge myself.
All right.
I wanna try to at least get one sentence.
Yeah.
Oh man. Fuck. Nah, being on camera is hard, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard as shit.
You get used to it. You get used to it, I would say. Like my first couple pods, it was like so different. Bro, I was talking like I was like, "Hey, welcome to the podcast, guys." Like I was putting on an act almost, and listening back, I'm like, it was crazy. But like, you totally get used to it. I know it's like crazy to be just on camera and stuff, but like, But you're doing a great job so far. Like you've been
Really?
like in the convo like
I mean, yeah. All right, so
4 words or however many words.
if I'm just doing words, fire, real, talented, toxic.
Toxic? Talk
Uh,
to me about that side of things. And I love that description, by the way. So you have been called toxic in the media. People have, been leaning into that. Like, why do you think you have this reputation, and what is it about your music that makes people think toxic?
I've done a lot of toxic shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anything you want to open up about, or you don't have to, at your own discretion.
Just with ladies and stuff. But if I do something toxic, evil, I don't. I kind of like it in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and I don't know. Like in a narcissistic way, I kind of do it, and then it gives me ammunition to put it in the song. Let me not make it seem like I do it just to make the music out of it.
Yeah.
But like deep down, that's just, like sometimes that's just what I am. Like I know, just to be toxic is in me, but
Yeah.
I do it, and then I guess to correlate it to the music is just I'm expressing about myself,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna shy away and lie and act like I'm this lover boy. No, like
Yeah.
I'm not shit.
Yeah, I totally get that. And there's something about, people give shit to me online too, where it's like I'm going against like big narratives. I'm saying things that are kind of out of the box, and a lot of people hate on it. But in my mind, I'm like, I know what I feel. I'm not going to put on an image just to fit in, just
Right.
so that they won't say shit. So it's like, I have to be authentic, or else I'm not an artist. I'm just, another poser. And the world is full of posers. So
Yeah, I'm trying to be as authentic
I like
as
that.
I can be. It's hard though, cause it's a comfort zone thing.
Yes.
So I don't like to like you wouldn't think I like to talk and articulate, but I really don't. I
Yeah.
don't.
So are you more introverted, would you
Yeah,
say? But online, you're more extroverted?
Sure, yeah, you
Yeah.
can say that. Like it's easy to like paint this picture online.
Of
Like, it's
course.
easy.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You kind of lean into
yeah.
the certain things.
But in person it's like nah, like I don't know, like I don't get anxiety rather, but I'd rather just like I'm low key scared of the world. Like I'm
Yeah.
not scared in the sense of like, oh I won't step out. But if I can avoid it I will.
Yeah,
Like
I feel
don't
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't live like in the city. I'm always like out of the city a bit because I'm like I am scared at heart. I'm always like checking things like in a lot of ways. Like even when I sleep, I'm like checking wherever I'm at. I'm checking everything because I'm like always have that feeling, that primitive, whatever it is, where I'm like I have to be on the lookout, and that comes from experience, but also just from like being in life. I think there's some things that we just have in us when we're born, and it's like so I would consider myself. I would agree. I would say that like I relate to that first and foremost. Talk to me a little bit about food. I know you're a busy man, and we'll have to wrap up soon. But what are your top kinds of food? Like any spots you want to shout out, or like uh, types of food? What are genres of food called? Like
What?
like a genre of food. Like you could have Italian. You
Oh,
could have
do I have any?
yeah.
Yesterday I just had what is it? Barbecue chicken.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Korean wings.
Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire.
That shit's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
I just had Jollibee.
Okay.
I just had Jollibee. So that's fire. I had jerk chicken the
I
other
love
day.
jerk chicken.
I want to shout out some spots, but I'm gonna be honest. The food has gotten asser as time went on.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
The food has gotten terrible.
Like in Manhattan,
everywhere.
everywhere in the city.
Everywhere. Like the one thing that goes to mind is the pizza.
Yeah.
The pizza used to be a lot more reliable,
I haven't eaten here in a minute,
but
so it's like really gone. Do you think it's the tariffs or something like that? Like the taxes?
the price going up too does
Yeah.
not help. But like a lot of shit had just went down. Chinese food is ass now.
Oh yeah, no, I noticed that. Like,
Yeah.
I hate Chinese food.
Like a lot of
Like
things-
authentic Chinese food, I love, but like certain places that do the inauthentic, it's really like hard to eat that stuff. But I'm not trying to diss Chinese restaurants.
No, shout out to them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like trying to be healthier. And
yeah.
shit.
Same with me. That's what
Like-
it is. I think.
Like I feel like it's easier to eat something good. It's easier to eat something unhealthy and just like mask in the taste.
Yes, you're
But,
right
like,
about that.
But like me now, like, bro, I be so focused on like what it's doing to my stomach and like,
Yes.
like I don't know, like
Yeah.
that's just me now, like.
Literally, like that's like when I eat unhealthy, like because I try to keep it healthy most of the time, but sometimes I'll eat, like I'll go to Popeyes or like,
Bro,
yeah,
I had Popeyes the other day.
bro.
I wanted to fucking throw up. Like,
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
but it's so good, and then you feel like shit later.
It wasn't even good.
For me,
like,
I'm addicted to it. Like the sandwich, like the whatever, like they use like Cajun seasoning, and the way they do it, I don't know, for whatever reason I got super addicted to it. I think they put MSG in it, which is like a chemical that they also put in a lot of Chinese food, and it's actually super addictive. And other fast food places don't do that, but they do.
I don't have an addictive personality, so maybe I don't know, but like I used to love Popeyes, like shit like that. But
Yeah.
like I said, the other day I had it. That shit was fucking ass. Like this shit made me want to throw up. Are you like? Did you do calisthenics?
Yeah, I
You
used
did?
to be super into it. I'm trying to do more exercise, just like,
Can you do a muscle up?
yeah, I was doing so many muscle ups last summer. I just fell off during the winter because I would go outside to do it and it
Right.
got cold. But I'm trying to get back on that. Do you fuck with calisthenics?
Yeah, I love calisthenics.
Yeah, I think guys, calisthenics, like if you're trying to be fit and healthy and have fun with it, I feel like nothing beats calisthenics.
I mastered the muscle up,
Yeah.
but like, I haven't done it in like a month or two. So
Yeah, you gotta stay consistent, or
Yeah.
you like lose it.
yeah,
Kind of.
but I feel like I'm losing it now.
The muscle memory is still really good though.
Yeah.
It helps with it.
Mind over matter though, for sure.
Mhm.
Like if your mind is into it, I feel like you got it.
Yeah,
But being lazy is like a really, I don't want to say like it's a really bad thing.
yes, and it's like for me, I know because I've had times when I just get into a lazy routine and I lose my. I always am so ambitious, but I let the laziness in the past take over. And something I think a lot of the time is like we wonder about God, like why He isn't helping us or whatever, and I'm like, God doesn't talk to lazy people. Like God, like sure He'll like He love you and everything, but He's not gonna help you achieve
never
things
thought
if you're
about
not working for it.
I get what you're saying. Like
Yeah,
he can meet you halfway, but you gotta he can give you 50 if you give 50.
100%. Like yeah, 50 and 50 make 100%. So it's like you gotta be active and like doing something if you want to have any kind of results. There's that famous story where it's like this guy would pray every night for like 50 years. God, will you help me win the lottery? God, will you help me win the lottery? And then when he died, he asked God, why did you never help me win the lottery? And you know what God said? You never bought a ticket. So the guy never bought a lottery ticket, but he had been asking God to win the lottery. It doesn't add up. Like you can't expect something from life if you are not doing shit. So I love that. I really do. I love that sentiment, and I can tell that you're always like you're strategizing in life. You're a very strategic individual, which is something.
Are you?
I think I would. So it's hard to say like when people ask me, but I think I am. I'd like to say so. I tend not to ever like try. I try never to say like I'm this, I'm that. I'll just let people make their own conclusions.
Would
But
you consider yourself an overthinker?
well, I have been in the past an overthinker, definitely, but I'm trying to be more optimistic now, and I don't know. I wouldn't say ever an overthinker, but I had been worrying about things, and I learned that I didn't need to be worrying about them. So like, I was worrying about like going online. Like I was an artist before, a few years back, and I would be making music, and I would be like saying stuff that wasn't really like how it was, and I was so worried. Or no, I was actually being authentic, but I was just like scared, to make me. It's a scary fucking thing, like to make music and put it out there for a lot of people. Like it's like,
Really?
yeah, 100%. Like there are a lot of people listening right now where it's like you guys want to be an artist, but you have that fear where you're worried about how people will react. Maybe kids at school. I remember I got made fun of by kids at school when I started putting music out. And it's like you just put those thoughts to the side. If you want to do something, just do it. And when you're on your deathbed, you're not going to regret that. What you will regret is not doing what you believed. Um, so I think that's a big one too. Just to kind of wrap up, any artists currently in the city that you want to shout out?
In New York?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't
No.
know, like mainstream wise or
Or underground, like
ah, Kai.
Kai, 100%.
No, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I
Yeah,
don't know. I
like,
just, bro, being on camera makes your brain go fucking dead. Like
how does it feel right now?
like
Talk to
it's
them
not.
about it.
It's not hard to speak because this is just a conversation.
Yes.
But like when it's like you giving me a task to come up with like,
Yeah.
and oh shit, like I can't think of any artists right now, like at all.
Yeah.
Like the shit is fucking hard. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of one. Like
It's so funny because most of the interviews you guys see, they're scripted. So it's like it doesn't it's not real. Like you're seeing the final cut, but they edit out a bunch of shit. But what I'm doing with this is different. So you see like a real interview live, and
this
it's
is the
like
first like unscripted one.
they're all unscripted.
Wait.
All of them.
Oh.
Yeah, all unscripted.
Okay.
So it's our motto is unscripted interviews with innovators. And I would consider you an innovator in a lot of ways, Kai. So I really appreciate you coming on the pod, and I know it's like tough, your first interview and everything, but you handled it like a champ, and it was a great interview, and we touched on a lot of really great topics. Okay, just to wrap it up, let me think. Um, yeah, I'm also.
I think I think you're a good host.
Thank you, Kai. I appreciate that a lot. That means a lot that you say that.
Yeah, for sure. Like it seems natural. Like I didn't get an unprofessional or not unprofessional. I didn't get a newbie vibe.
Yeah, yeah. If it was one of my first couple ones, you would have gotten that vibe, I think. We're at, what is this? I think this is the 13th, which is an unlucky number, but
Really?
yeah, 13, bro. That's a number I tend not to even approach. Like I am superstitious in some little ways like that. Where like, but like Friday the 13th.
You know, Friday the 13th is this Friday.
What the fuck? I didn't know that. That's wild. Okay, hopefully something bad doesn't happen this week. I'm gonna try not to think about that too much.
Why is that like a thing for bad things to happen on Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's just 13. It comes from 13, and then it was always like I don't know where Friday the 13th.
Isn't that
a
fucking
movie?
Jason?
Yeah, Jason. That's what it's called. I don't know where that originally came from. The Unlucky Friday, but it could have been that movie. But we get superstitious about stuff. And thank you, Kai. Like, what the hell? Like, I still can't believe myself that we're doing this, guys. Kai, you have people right now watching all over the world. The biggest audience right now, the States, of course, but then Australia and the UK are really watching. Anything, just to wrap it up, you want to say to people from Australia right now?
Where's that at?
So that's like an island. It's like far as fuck away, but it's a massive island. They talk like,
Wait, Australia is within the state.
no.
That's not a Wait, no, wait.
It's a continent.
It's a continent.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool,
So
cool.
it's like a big island continent. They talk like, let me try to.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. Exactly.
Tight
You're
shit.
better than me at it.
You should say something to them.
Yeah. What do you say to your Australian listeners right now?
Poof. Breathe in oxygen and make sure that carbon dioxide is being breathed
100%.
before I cannot.
I'll say to you guys too, people in Australia, I know your government is really restrictive, and just stay strong. You're gonna make it out, and like come to the States. We'll love you here.
I knew a girl from Australia.
You did?
Uh,
Awesome. Talk to me. You wanna like finish up by talking about that?
uh, shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
We didn't really go far, but I just knew her. Yeah, shout out to her.
Awesome. Yeah. Shout out to everyone from Australia, from the UK, Ireland. That's like crazy. A lot of those places like where they have that accent. But yeah. So guys, ciao. We'll see you. This has been I think. I don't know exactly if we'll call it I think 12 or I think or whatever it might be. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Or thank you, Ty, and thank you for watching. We're gonna take I think to the next big podcast, the hottest new podcast on the entire internet. There's really nothing that can stop us at this point except for God Himself. So we're gonna take it to the moon. Everything will fall into place, and we're gonna figure out why we exist in the first place, why humans in general. That's a question we still haven't answered, as a society. So let's get answers. Maybe we deserve an explanation for our existence. Bare minimum, the very bare minimum. Let's radically pursue new technologies like AI and quantum computing to find out once and for all why we exist. Let's do it, guys. 100%. Ciao. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of my audience around the globe. My name is Ben. I'm the host of the iThink podcast. I'm gonna cut out right now, but everything's awesome. Thank you to my editors, everyone who has helped me achieve this. I thank you to all of you guests that have come on the podcast so far. Thank you to the I Think family. You are the quantum disciples. Not claiming to be a prophet or anything like that, but I just like to name quantum disciples. So let's get it. Let's figure out why we exist. Let's introduce positivity to the world, not negativity. Negativity is a choice. We can choose to be positive or being negative. That's what I preach. If that's anything you guys want to take from, I think, don't be negative. Like anxiety, depression, fear, shame, but all the negative emotions, resentment, whatever it is, this is your ego talk. It's not you. If you really want to achieve your goal, you can step out of your ego and look back at your ego and realize all the things that are back to life. So I love all of you guys. Thank you. This has been an amazing video. And again, let me just take a shot of the wonderful city we have here. It's fascinating. Wow. But we're very high up. We're very high up right now. Now, guys, we're going to sign off right